Hey everybody, welcome back to a new movie reaction. So, Mad Max Fury Road. This one is definitely a movie that I'm deciding to do on the spot. I was supposed to be doing another movie this week, but I saw it was on Netflix and I was like, you know what? It's a movie that I've been quite curious about for a long time and I didn't get to it. I always believed that I needed to watch the previous Mad Maxes, before jumping into this one, but I did a little bit of research and turns out I don't. So the hell, why not doing it right now? Usually I do a little technical readout of the movie before jumping into it, so I have at least an idea of what I'm getting into, what I might be expecting, things maybe to look for. But this one I didn't because, yes, like I said, it's on the spot, so might as well just go all the way spontaneous with it. I do happen to know that this is directed by George Miller, who's been directing the old Mad Max movies, so I won't be able to compare, of course, what's been done then and what's being done now. Maybe, later on I'll be reacting to these movies as well, but for now I'll just be doing this one. Thinking about it, I still have to get to the Fast and the Furious as well, because when there are sequels like this, you never exactly know if you need to watch the previous ones, or if it's basically a little bit like Star Wars. If you only want to watch episode 4, 5, 6, you don't need to watch 1, 2, 3, but it's always to make the experience more complete. So for those of you guys who are wondering, why am I not reacting to the first one, or am I going to react to the first ones, or anyways, that being said, I do happen to know that there is Charlize Theron in this one, at least I think, Tom Brady, and I believe that's it. I don't know anything regarding the narrative other than I think it's a post-apocalyptic thing, but I do not know exactly what's happening in there. Obviously I've already seen some images, some promo images, so when I said that I was quite curious about this movie, obviously the looks of it, it is quite unique, and I'm a sucker for visuals, so I'm really looking to see if this is just a show or if this really brings something into all that hype that's been around Mad Max, because we've been hearing about Mad Max a lot, and just like the title, basically it looks quite mad, so I'm really curious to see what it is all about. That being said, the full air reaction of that movie is going to be on the Patreon, so is all the reactions to my previous TV reactions and movies. Not all my back catalogue is on there yet, because I'm still in the process of editing them, and it takes a lot of time, and my internet connection is not helping at all with uploading these. But yes, go check my Patreon. There's already a lot of things up there: Attack on Titan, Cobra Kai, The Hunting of Bly Manor, anything really. And that being said, subscribe, leave a like, all that thing, and we're gonna jump right in. Let's go.
It was hard to know who was more crazy, me or everyone else.
It's quite intense already. I'm loving it.
Must help us.
Ooh. Alright. You're gonna eat that?
They
Oh.
can't touch me. They are long dead.
The rhythm play is fantastic. I don't know if the sound is going to be... Wow. Okay. That movie so far is not letting you rest at no time. And when you think you can rest, bang. I really love the use of the sound so far. It's fantastic. What kind of world is this? They're tattooing him, cutting his head, chaining him, everything at the same time. Oh, and he doesn't seem like a really nice tattoo. Oh, they're branding him. Fuck. Yeah, no. That's like the last drop. So I'm just wondering, have they changed the speed? Because I feel like even the bodies move faster than they should. That was mad. Totally gets your attention from the very beginning. Wow. It's a really dirty movie, I have to say. Visuals are disgustingly epic. So that's the guy on the whose face you see everywhere on the promo pictures. Everybody's gone mad and dirty. Water. In the desert, of course. In the desert, whoever or whatever can provide water is God. What are you doing? Oh no. Oh, that's not. Oh. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I find it quite. Oh no. The art design, man.
By my deeds, I honor him. V8.
What's that V8? Is it V8 like the drink, or is it V8 like the engines? More likely the engine. Screenwriting and art departments and directing were like, what can we do that's wild? Let's get trucks in the desert, let's get a band on the desert, and let's shoot flames from the guitar.
No! We're good!
I just realized this is basically like epic horn. Yeah, I basically realized this is like Burning Man, but on even more cracks. Oop. That shot was neat with the face. See, I'm enjoying the fact that to rev into the chaos, you don't need to have shaky cameras everywhere and mad shots. It's all about the actual action. Wow! But the shots are really clear. Oh! Oh! That's a festival of madness. I didn't check if George Miller wrote the movie himself, but you have to... I'd really like to know where all that came from. I just realized, did I say Tom Brady in the introduction? I meant Tom Hardy, obviously. Easy dreaming, you know.
We're not going back.
I think I recognized one or two faces amongst the girls. Must be nice. Oh, no. Both of you are running from the same people, so As much as this is an interesting action sequence, narratively, I'm not really caring. Oh, I didn't get she has one hand left.
How does it feel?
It hurts.
Out here, everything hurts.
You're entering world of pain.
You're entering a world of pain. You mark that frame in 8, you're entering a world of pain.
I'm not.
A world of pain.
You can get in.
Not without them.
It's not like they're extra baggage, you know. Why? I mean, I'd say the most dangerous of them all was the Imperator, and you already let her in, so you might as well let the other ones in as well. I get it, can't trust really anybody out there, but just how these even trucks are designed, it's a rugged steampunk. Dirty, ragged steampunk. So I suppose Tom Hardy's Mad Max. And he's a man of a few words.
What do I call you?
Does it matter?
Nope.
When I yell fool, you drive out of here as fast as you can.
Let's do this!
Ah, sure. No. Yeah. Let's do this. Drop the rocks. Why didn't they drop the rocks before and you still deliver the fuel? I don't get it. I don't get why people act that way. Why they backstab each other or not collaborate more. War, I get it, but...
You! Climb aboard! A family squabble. Healthy babies.
I'm really loving the work that they've done on the voices. I'm wondering if they worked on Tom Hardy's voice as well. Because we know the guy has a particular voice, but it seems that they gave a particular attention to everybody's voice so far. At least the bad guys. Monster truck. Yeah, I don't know why she broke it. You still could have left the fuel pod here. Oh!
Splendid! Splendid!
Oh! Oh!
You will ride eternal, shiny and chrome.
Okay. That's highly unsanitary, but that's epic. Oh! You messed up guy. Yeah, I wanted to say the F word. Oh no! The pregnant one. Oh, good. Would have been a really bold move to kill her off. Would have been really interesting. In fact, I would have liked it. Oh! Oh no! Oh! Did it crush her? Oh, she's dead. Oh, she's dead. It definitely rolled on her. Oh.
Another month? Could have been your viable human. Hey, Rigdus. Perfect in every way.
Oh, they're gonna eat that. A really dirty world. These things remind me of a creature in I don't remember what. And I reckon these are people, of course, but they... Oh! In Beautiful People, I think.
Why'd you leave?
I didn't. I was taken as a child.
You done this before?
Many times.
What about you?
Lots of questions, sir.
Redemption.
I'm really appreciating the fact that this is a movie of Seemingly a few words.
I can't wait for them to see it.
Say what?
Home.
Oh?
The crows. That creepy place with all the crows.
Where are the others?
What others?
The many mothers.
Where the
Shattered dream. Shattered hope. There's no escape. It's impressive because you totally feel for her. I mean, you've seen her fight so hard to get to this place. Even if you don't know her story, even if you don't, that's impressive.
They're going back.
Oh.
It's undefended.
Oh. Here we go again. Oh. You're a target of a choice, boy. There's a million different ways for anybody to die. I'm loving it. What did you get? What did you get a throat? Visuals, man. The sound mixing is Oh! Is it in his head or? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Can you do it? 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 Yeah, sure. Go to Valhalla. Valhalla, sorry. Yeah, she wants to go. I mean, if she wants to go, let her go, and don't risk the others. Oh! Trick.
Remember me?
Oh! Savage. Oh, that was neat. Oh, that was... Not gonna lie, I kind of want to see it.
When you're across safe, I'll jam the throttle and follow you.
No, you won't. He's gonna die in the pass. The guitar. That was nice shot on the wheel. That was cool. That was nice.
Max. My name is Max. That's my name.
You're gonna like it. Off the hood. So nobody liked him. Wait, are they taking pieces of him? Sure. Yeah, she's alive. Ah. Well, we get a happy ending. Yeah. He has something to do. Wow. Wow, guys. I am baffled. I don't really know what to say. Filmmaking standpoint, that movie was like masterpiece. I think it definitely deserves a spot on my list of movies that I would have liked to direct myself. I mean, the artwork, the costumes, the sets, the trucks, the cars, everything was just mind-blowing. And the directing in itself, I mean, the sound, the editing, everything was so great, and the script writing. So what really stood out for me is the fact that this movie is really just continuous. You never feel like there is a moment where you're not with the characters, because you know, most of the movies, even sometimes adventure movies, there are cuts. You go to somebody else, or there are time jumps, and it feels sometimes it feels discontinued, but this movie didn't feel like it. I mean, the first hour is maybe just a continuous action of them fleeing, and then of course there are some time jumps, and sometimes you get to Immortan Joe, then you come back to Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron, but it never feels really discontinued because the action is always taking place in the same unit, and it's pretty much the same setting. It's in the desert, It's not actually jumping countries or really jumping from a flat to another one. So it really feels like one unity. And that really what stood out for me. And the very few times that we get a big time jump, or that we switch places, that we get from Immortan Joe to the war rig and anything, there is this fade in black and fade out black, and that really sets in the fact that we switch, and that is really happening on a very specific point. And overall, I really just appreciated the very fact that it's a movie of a few words. It's not relying on the dialogues, it's really relying on the atmosphere, the action in itself. And I think this is what we can call an action movie, because the action is the story. The pursuit is the story. The pursuit is not just here to serve the narrative or just to have a cool sequence. The pursuit is the whole story. This is what's happening in this movie. We're running, or driving away from something, and something is pursuing us. So I do not reckon that I have ever seen a movie like this before. And I'm really surprised that this stood up 2 hours. I would have expected a movie like this to, by standards, to last longer, 2 hours and a half, 3 hours perhaps. But the fact that it's only 2 hours is quite interesting and is really fitting, because I do believe often sometimes when you get adventure movies or fantasy movies or sci-fi movies, they're too long. I do believe that they're too long for their own sake. They could be shorter most of the time, and I do not believe that this movie could be shorter. I think it was the exact right amount of time. And the fact that sometimes we think that we need more time, to establish characters and everything, I don't think that's necessary. Previous, I'm thinking this movie with Furiosa, when she understands that there is no green place, that she loses hope and everything, you totally get it and you feel for her, because you've seen her fight so hard for these women, and you've seen her fight so hard for her own life and with this dream of the green place. And the fact that when she gets there after so much trouble, there's no green place, you feel for her and you feel her pain. And even though you don't know anything about really her own past and everything, but it comes from both the writing and I think Charlize's performance, you get to feel the weight of all of this, and when it drops, you drop with it, and it was really great. All of what's regarding Tom Hardy's character Max, then I suppose maybe if I had seen the previous movies, I would maybe have understood better what his backstory was and what's all of these flashbacks and everything, but it was not necessary to understanding the plot. The plot was not about Max and his life, it was about just that Fury Road trip, and you just understand that there is something else to the character, and most importantly, what's really necessary, you understand that he has this duty of care, this duty of you get that he is not a selfish individual, even though if at the beginning he's leaving them off the road, on the side of the road. But you understand that he is caring, that he has a mission, that he has a drive, so you get that he may not stick with them in the end. But you see that this is a character with a greater sense of righteousness. And obviously the fact that he has visions of a child makes it for it. I mean, a grown man helping a child is obviously a striking thing, more than if it was maybe a lover or anything like this. So it was really great. Immortan Joe as well was really. So this, I think this is the shot of Immortan Joe. You know, just him behind the wheel and just the wind and the hair flowing. It was really the shot of Immortan Joe. So yes, I don't know the actor who played him, but he was quite compelling, and I think the voice has a lot to do with it. The looks, obviously. And regarding the sound, I think it's the masterpiece of this movie. The sound, really, the mixing, the editing, the design, the voices. Sorry, namely, the voices are really what stood up in this movie, and it definitely. I wouldn't say enhanced the movie, because the movie is the movie, but to me that's really what shines in this movie, the sound, and even the times that we get in and out of a it's not a flashback. Yeah, I've got a vision, isolating sometimes the sound when it's calm and sometimes when it's chaos, between the music, the explosions, sometimes just the sound of the wheels, sometimes not even the sound of the wheels, sometimes barely the sound of the engines roaring, and it's just the characters. So it's really all well done, and it's really making for this unity that I was talking about, because even during the transitions, when we get from one part to the another one, it's really linked. And the sound is really what makes a movie great. Like we say, you can always have a crappy image, yet you need to have a decent sound. And the sound in this movie, to me, really made it awesome. I have to say that sometimes regarding the music, I loved the mix of genres in the music. But at one time during the pursuit, when they are coming back to the Citadel, I'm not really sure of the use of the music, of the orchestral music for the pursuit. Would have liked them rather to stick with the rock and or another genre, but something a little more rugged, something a little more rhythmic and less melodic. But I have to say that the melody and the orchestral music was really well welcomed when they were in the sandstorm. I think it was really beautiful, really great change, and it was awesome. Regarding the characters, Nux's character was really interesting. They all had a great synergy, and the very fact that we get so little of the characters, of their background, of them existing elsewhere than in this narrative, but the fact that you understand them so much is really a lesson even for me. It really shows me that you don't need an extensive background necessarily to be exposed in the movie for your characters to exist and to be complete. Because I don't feel that we were lacking anything really from Nux, nothing really from Furiosa, nothing really from anybody really. You understood where everybody was coming from, what their place was, what they were after, and that's all that really you need. And just like Max said, Charlize Theron Furiosa asked him what was his name, and was like, does it matter? No, it does not matter at all. You don't care about the name really of your characters. You don't really care about how old they are. You just care about where they're coming from, what are they doing right now, and where are they heading to. That's it. And it was so well done. I think really this movie is ranking in my favorite now movies of all time. Surely, in a week or two I'll be thinking about it and I'll find some negative points, or even more negative points, because the music at some points was a negative point for me. But in narrative, it was, and it's just a simple narrative. It's a obviously you need to come with all of the world building, of course. But I mean, the premises of the narratives are simple. there is that girl who wants to escape basically sex slaves or surrogate sex slaves mothers, or I don't know how you want to call them. They're not exactly sex slaves, but you know what I mean. They're here to procreate, the breeders basically, that's what they call them, I think. So she's here to escape the breeders, and obviously she's going to be pursued, yes. And there is this guy who's been abducted, and who's running away from them as well, and who's going to help them, and that's it. And half of the movie, or maybe three halves, of the movie is them driving away, and then the last part of the movie is them coming back to get back the place, and it makes sense. Oh yes, I get it. Negative point. What doesn't make sense to me is just the defiance that there was of it at the very beginning. I think they could have come to an understanding way faster. I mean, they kept on understanding regarding Nux's involvement to help them pretty fast, so I don't really get why it took so long for Max and Furiosa to get along. Like I said, I get that you are suspicious of everybody, but come on guys, you're running away from the same guy, just work together, and then if you have a grudge amongst yourselves, deal with it, but later on. And yet then I don't get why Furiosa did not give the passage people the tank, because I mean apparently they were going to drop the rocks anyways, so she didn't really need to drive off right now. She could have just dropped the tank and went off, and the guys would have dropped the rocks and the passage would have been blocked. They would have lost maybe 30 seconds head start, you know. They would have maybe lost, or even 20 seconds head start, but it would have been simpler. But it wouldn't have made some drama and some action. So I get it why the writers might have chosen to do this. But yes, so it's not definitely a negative point. Depends on the perspective and their endeavor. But yes, so this movie was totally great. I'm really happy that I decided to react to it on the spot. Like I said, I didn't know anything about Mad Max. I didn't even watch the trailer when it first came out, and it surely did not disappoint. I mean, I was in shock when the movie began. The rhythm, basically the whole rhythm of the movie is really well paced, and if I were to compare it to John Wick and to Edge of Tomorrow, which were the last two action movies that I watched on this channel, I really enjoyed more the action in this movie, because there was a lot happening, and comparing it to Edge of Tomorrow, where they decided to go with the shaky camera and you couldn't see anything really, I enjoyed it more here, because here there was a lot of action, yet the cameras were not shaky. You could clearly see the action, and still you could understand that it was chaos, because in Edge of Tomorrow I do understand that they would have wanted to go with a shaky camera to emphasize the fact that the character is lost himself, but as a viewer it disrupted my, or at least regarding my personal preference as a viewer, it disrupted my focus a little bit, while here you keep getting the chaos and the mayhem that it is, but camera is still giving you the opportunity to see quite clearly what's happening. It's just that the action in itself is really well done, and the editing does a lot for it as well, especially the opening sequence. The opening sequence was just fantastic. It was ecstatic. I started to talk during the opening sequence, but it never would let me finish a sentence really, because at the moment when you think, because you know, when you react to a movie, you try to talk obviously in the moments that there isn't something that might be important happening, but as you're watching these movies for the first time, you never know what's going to be coming. So when you start a sentence, you hope that you're not going to miss something. But in the opening, it was just bang, action on action. And when you think that you have a split second of still split second, no, bang, action again, and it starts. And when it's not the sound, it's the visuals, and then the editing is coming back, and you alternate between the shot still and then a moving shot, tracking shot, and then you move from one angle to the other one, and then the sound is coming back, and the voices, and then the flashbacks, and then you come back to some. It's just breathtaking. I'm gonna rewatch that movie, of course, and I'm gonna maybe enjoy it more than I know what to expect, and decipher it maybe a little more. But I think that there's a lot to be said about the editing and the rhythm management in that movie, for sure. So yes, that was my reaction to Mad Max Fury Road. I think I said everything that I needed to say from the get-go. Obviously, it's always the same with the movies. You watch them, you react to them, you review them for 10 minutes or so after you're done, but it's only the first viewing, and you definitely don't get to say everything that you get off the top of your head. So if there's anything worth noticing, I'll be obviously commenting down below, or maybe during a next live of mine, we'll talk about it. But it's always like this, so maybe in a week or two I'll have more things to say about it. Like I said, maybe I will have more negative points to point out, maybe other great things to point out. Maybe my opinion would change a little bit, but basically this is my reaction on the spot. So I hope that you enjoy that reaction. I definitely did enjoy that movie a lot, as you could tell. The full-length reaction to that movie is available on the Patreon, link down below in the description box. So is the links to all of my social media and the Discord server. Do not hesitate to join in to continue the conversation over there. Subscribe, where the notification button is, where the like button is. Smash it down, it's always appreciated, and it helps the channel, it helps me, it tells me that you like it, and it gives me motivation to continue to do even more of it. Because I do enjoy doing this on my own, but it's always much more funnier when you're here with me. And I'll be seeing you next time. Until then, please take care, have a wonderful life, and see you soon. Bye.